Yep.
I've been ridden. She's acting up a little bit. Should have got myself a stick. Down that way, I'll meet you back at the barn.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, tie her up back over here by our post. Okay. Yeah, I'll go put her in her stall so she isn't out here in the hot sun. A bit hokey, but I'm just trying to set the stage or the environment for what's to come. So don't turn your VCR off yet on there, because we'll still get some good renditions later. Just let me get out of this gear, since that's about all the riding I'll do today. I think the horse is too tired. And okay. Now I know Bussin' Kenny, this is pretty hokey because we didn't own a saddle, and we sure didn't have any leather pants to keep some brambles from hitting us. We did have wide-brimmed straw hats, though, that worked pretty good. But that's the way life is now. And I'd like to go to the next stage of introducing you to what's to come. Where'd you get that hat?
From Denver.
Is that the style of dress and stuff that people wore then?
Yes. And my dad couldn't find a nice enough suit for me. He walked all over town when he got that suit. And he paid a terrific price at that time. I think it was near $100 for that suit. It was regular fur. And then the hat was a feathered hat, but I had the veil.
Mm-hmm.
The hat came from Denver, I think.
Yeah. Well, you got a picture there of Dad's parents?
Here's their wedding picture. Those Mother and Dad's wedding picture.
And when was that?
Gosh, I don't know the date of their wedding. I do probably have it.
Well, about what year?
Saying, I was born in 1900, so it was in probably 1898, 1897.
Well, could be.
About
I suppose he was
1895
two
or
before
6,
you,
7. Because I was 1900, I was born.
You were the third one.
Well, you were the third one. How much older is John? And
2 years older. There's about 3 years older than, 4 years older than I.
so it'd be about 6 years then.
Be 1896 maybe.
Yeah. Gosh, she looks awful small.
She was.
Yeah.
She was tiny.
Well, how about your parents then, Ma?
Well, now this is, Dad was 70 there. That's not no wedding picture. That's when they went out to Wichita, Kansas. We was going on out to Oklahoma to see Elizabeth and Alvin. And Helen, that's my oldest sister, her husband took that picture of Dad. He was 70, but they drove out, Mother and Dad. Mother was 68, I believe. Dad was 66, she was. Dad was 70.
So when was your dad born?
Oh, I know his birthday was March the 14th, but I don't know what year it was.
1861, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I think you always told me something that he was born in Baltimore in 1861.
I imagine so.
Probably so. Mother's birthday was August the 15th, wasn't it? 15th, after conception.
Yeah. Well, let's have some pictures of the results of your wedding then.
Oh, here's the oldest one. This is Loretta. That's the oldest one. She was about 22 there. So they came out here when they...
Mm-hmm.
Was that after she was married or before? I think she started about 21. Can't tell what the date was. 21, 22.
Get the bus, you'll have to go.
And when was she born?
She was born in
1922.
1922.
In September, wasn't
September 1922.
it? Yeah. And then his next one.
Bus.
24, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's.
Turn it just a little bit. I'm getting a glare. Okay.
That's the second one.
He was born two years later. That was in
June
24.
the 25th.
June the 25th, 24.
Mm-hmm.
Just for in service. And here's Count. He was born in...
26. He was born in 26. That's 2 years later.
When's his birthday?
Also in September, isn't it?
No, Count's birthday. Yes, it is.
12th?
September, 23rd of September.
23rd.
This is Joe. He was born in...
That's getting a glare on that. Turn it around a little bit.
This way, or...
Angle a little bit more towards the window. Yeah, like that. Okay.
He was born in 28, in 1928. His birthday is
April 16th.
April 16th.
Still got a memory, haven't we? Yeah, Teresa. And here's Teresa.
She was born in 30.
When was her birthday? October 6th, 1930. What's that there? Second one. Janie.
3 years.
She's in 19,
33 then. She was born 1933.
And these are all high school graduation pictures, are right about at the same time as high school
Yeah,
graduation.
yeah.
Yeah.
her birthday's October the 12th, isn't it? I've got the, let me get the step, I know exactly if I can.
Well, let's get the other two first, and then we can get that.
There's Bobby.
She was born in May the 27th, is it the 27th?
May 21st, isn't it?
May the 21st. And,
That'd be in about 1935. And then
yes,
Mary was
1935.
born in 36.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mary
And
Catherine,
there's Mary.
August the 12th, 1936. That's all of them.
Yeah. Now let's
Now, how about this?
let's
Take this next.
well let's take that other picture there in black and white first, there where you look a lot like Mary. See that now? About when was that taken?
In 1921, the spring of 1921. That's before we were married. The spring before we were married. We were married that following October.
And where was that?
That was at Father Keeper's, right in front of the, well, that's the
Wells,
church you can see in Shine Wells.
Colorado.
Oh, was Dad out there working or what?
Yes, he came out to see me and he fixed Father Keeper's fence
I built a fence around his.
around his
Churchyard.
churchyard. Yes, he came out to see me. Wasn't you cute looking then?
Yeah. Looked a lot like me.
Now, this is before we were married. And he's always late on his dates. I was looking for him. See, I don't look very happy there. Here he is, before we were married. This one here.
That's what, he's about 20, 21,
Oh, I don't think so. About 19.
Before 19, 20.
19.
I think. And of course, this is after we came out here. This was
That was
43, about 40,
about 1943.
oh, longer than that, I think. About 44.
Yeah.
1944. Because I know Loretta came out and she didn't like the looks the way I said, Mother. She said, you just don't have any clothes. Come on down here and get them. Put them on my charge. She got me that new hat and coat.
I saw the pictures you got there.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, tell me about that
Well,
one.
okay, what brought you out here? I mean, you say, well, that was taken out here in 1943. How did you leave Kansas or Nebraska and end up out here?
Came out here.
41, I came out in 41.
Yeah, you couldn't raise anything on the farm. It seems like the hail got it, or the drought. You had to sell down. You only had so many cows. The government let you keep so many cows because they had to feed them. You didn't have no crop to feed them, so you had to get money from the government to feed them. And I just thought to myself, we'll never make a go of it. He likes to study and read, so I just thought I'd get him a government job. I seen an advertisement in the Nebraska Farmer where it said Franklin Institute government jobs, and I wrote to it. And they came out and seen us instead of writing back and took us, should I go ahead, Philip?
Yeah, go ahead.
So they took us down to a little cabin to talk to us about it. And of course, Dad, I knew was easy talked into things. I knew he wasn't a farmer. We'd never get no place to farm him. So they talked him into it. I knew he had money in his pocket because he had just pastured some of his dad's camels. And I knew he had money in his pocket. So he said to me, what do you think about it? I think you ought to sign up. And I said, yes, I think it sounds good. So he signed up.
Got
And
lessons,
after he
got a
signed up,
government
government job.
course.
But after he signed up, of course, he didn't know too much about it. Neither did I. He felt kind of down because he felt like he put out his money and he couldn't see anything. And he was kind of disappointed. He said, I think I was very foolish to do that. He said, I should have never done it. I said, oh, don't be silly. I said, you'll get some knowledge out of it, maybe. I said, it might work out all right. Pretty soon the lessons started coming, and he would work on them, and I just let him sit there and work, and I'd do things so he wouldn't be interrupted. And he got back his grades. His grades were good. He got kind of encouraged. And of course, people thought he was silly when he went to the post office to get the applications. But finally, he got a notice.
Well, what were you thinking about, Dad, when you got the word that you could come out to Washington, D.C.?
Oh, well, I didn't even know that I put that on my application. I put on there west of the Mississippi. I'd take a job west of the Mississippi, but not east of the Mississippi. And then there was a place there that, will you accept work in Washington, D.C.? And I said yes. That's the first thing that come up, was Washington, D.C.
You must have thought that was pretty far away, huh?
Well,
Nobody's ever going to hire you to go there.
I was bound at that time. I had to go through with it, or was going to go through with it regardless.
Because we had no other choice, really. You couldn't raise anything. You know,
We was getting
you couldn't raise enough feed to feed your cows and your chickens
a
to
drought.
keep them to make a living.
The drought and
And the dust storms.
depression is what we went through, you know, for
and dust
quite
storms.
a few years there.
Well, if we back up a little bit there, talking about the Depression, I think I saw a picture over there with Dad when she was real little. There, you got that? Take a look at that. What kind of house is that there that you're standing in front of? When was that picture taken?
That's a sod house there. Now,
But that was Loretta. That's our first child.
that was
That's
back,
his first marriage.
about
1922.
Turn it up just a little bit and a little bit more towards me.
That's a soddy we lived in. That's our first real home where we were by ourselves. We lived with his folks to start with.
Yeah.
this year we rented a place and had this sod house on it, and we lived there 1 year. So,
Then we came to Nebraska.
That's when Sis was a baby.
yeah, this
And
was
then we came to Nebraska.
Well, I know you both come from pretty good size families. How many brothers and sisters do you have in your family, Dad?
we had, there was 8 boys and 3 girls, 11 altogether. And Sister Mary Alice and Sister Herman Joseph both were in the convent.
And sisters in Notre Dame.
Sisters in Notre Dame. And Leona, of course, she finally got married. She never had any children, though, so that none of the, and they didn't have any grandchildren until John got married. John,
Well, Leona wasn't the first one married. She's the youngest, isn't she?
John.
yeah, no, she's second to the youngest, that is Leona is.
John was the first one. Then
John
you.
was the first one married, and then I was married the same year, in the fall of
But when did your dad come into Nebraska? When did he move down there? He wasn't born there, was he?
No, they came from Wisconsin down to Nebraska, and I don't know what year, though.
Was he born in Wisconsin?
I think so.
Yeah. Because I thought I saw something where he was born in Gießen, Germany or something.
Oh, no, that was Grandpa Wiedel.
That was your grandfather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's, Grandpa Wiedel was born in Germany. And he come in 34 when he come to,
1834.
1834.
Came in through Philadelphia, didn't they, and then moved to Wisconsin? How come the 3 brothers went from Wisconsin to Nebraska?
Well, I guess Grandpa Wiedel and the 3 boys, and of course they had 2 girls too, 3 girls, 3
Oh.
boys. They come to Nebraska, and then from there, the boys all stayed and helped Grandpa get a place started, get to farming and got a place started, and then they branched out from there and bought, each one got married
No, I learned that some of these.
and buy a farm next, close to it.
So they all stayed pretty much right around Thayer County, Nebraska.
Area around Hebron, Nebraska.
Yeah. Now, who moved away from Hebron of your brothers and sisters other than yourself? Well, the 2 nuns, of course, were assigned at other parishes periodically, but mostly in Nebraska and Missouri.
To the mother house, huh?
Was that he moved away? Till after
Yes,
you?
Albert moved to Orleans, Nebraska.
After a long time after you mentioned Waller moved to Omaha.
Walter was living in Omaha later on.
But they all stayed right around fairly close, and you're the first one that crossed the Mississippi and went back east.
Yeah.
Well, you had any second thoughts since you did it?
Well, yes. Like Mom says, she could have pulled the train back. She'd have pulled it back.
When you first left, we were very wise in doing it.
But I just had to had my mind made up that I had to do it now. And of course, when I took a civil service exam, you know, and passed the civil service exam, that's how come I got Washington D.C. That's the first openings that come up after I.
Well, that's quite a change to make when you're 41 years old and got 8 kids and pack up and go that far.
Yeah.
You must have had some second thoughts.
You just had to. It takes a strong mind to do something like that, to move away from all those kids and
Well, you were here
mother
about
and the kids.
8 months before you sent for us.
I don't know, 6 months before
I put the kids through school. You come in the 1st of September.
Well, I come back, yes, in 6
There's a
months
picture
after
taken
I
when he
had
was
6
out there.
months in the government. I knew I was permanent. I'd be a permanent employee, so I come back to visit Mom, and we made arrangements to, as soon as school was out, and I rented a house, and when they found out that I had 8 children, they sent my money back.
Oh, they did?
Wouldn't rent your house to you. Wouldn't rent the house to you, huh?
No,
Then we moved in with his landlord.
we moved in there for 2 months, I think, before we got a house.
Every
Went
day
out
I'd
house
go out.
hunting and finally found a place.
Every day we'd go out and look for something.
And actually bought a house. You didn't end up renting one at all.
We'd go out every day and look for one. So this one time we went out, he said, well, I think I'll take that one. I said, oh my God, that's a little bit of a house, you know, where do we want to come from? Only 2 bedrooms, what do we do with all my 8 kids? 5 rooms in that whole house? I said, let's just go a little bit further. That's when we found that great big house that had 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms and on an acre of land, near acre of land. So we bought that. It was quite run down, but we fixed
I
it up.
just figured with all of us together, we could fix that up and make it look nice.
We did. We did. We made a nice home out of it. This is the way I look when he fell into it.
Read what you said on the back.
Well, let me see the picture first. Let me see the picture first.
So he felt
So I
sorry
want
for
to
you.
read on the back of it.
Slop buckets in her hand.
Well, I was doing the chores. He was gone, I had to do the chores.
Turn it just a little bit more like that. Yeah, okay.
And I said, making Dad feel sorry for me. For he was sitting at a desk in Washington, D.C. I'm on a farm milking cows and so forth. He's up there with his shoes all polished, sitting at the desk. Sure. God, I look at too, don't I?
Well, you may have had some regrets and stuff the first year you were out here, but how long were you out here before you decided you'd never go back?
Oh,
After I was a permanent employee, well, I knew that I could, every 6 months I got a job, I got a raise, seems like. And it
Supervisor.
wasn't very long until I was a supervisor in the group and kept going up, getting, so I just figured that he's gonna have to stay there.
Here's after we landed here for a while. That's how little some of the kids were. Do you see that?
That's all.
Yeah, I think I can. Let me get up a little bit.
That's Bus and you and Kenny and Sis. Guess that's just before we came here.
Well, that's quite a while before we came here, because hold that one up a little bit more. That's quite a while before we came here, because that's an old 1928
Yes.
Whippet or something. Is that an old Model A Ford or a Whippet?
Well, before it is.
And what's the other picture you got there?
Mom's family.
This is my family when I was at home. That's Dad, Mother, and all we children. That Ari had been so ill,
Well, about when was that picture taken?
taken in, oh golly, that must have been taken in about 1914, 15, 1915. This is me here. This is Dad, this is Mother, and this is family. This is Ari,
Which one was you again? I didn't.
right here.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
you
this-
look like you were about 15 or 16
I'm
then.
15 years old. This is Ari. He wasn't expected to live. They took him to the hospital, and sisters put the statue of Prague underneath him and told him to pray sometimes. They were healed. He weighed 90 pounds when they took him, and he was a 6-foot man. And
Right.
when they went and got him, they took a cot so they could bring him home, but he walked out from the train. They couldn't believe it. My brother had to take a hold of him and turn him around. He couldn't believe it was Ari. This is our family.
I know you used to have something. You used to have to set the table. Would you used to have a list of names or something like that? You went down in abbreviations when you went to set the table?
Ken Seal, Ray Agnew, John R. and Chris Jess J. Helmore Paul. That's the rest of the table.
Yeah.
You want to see this one? Okay.
Yeah, what you got there?
That's one of them. Dad just lived.
Me when I was little.
Well, I get it clear. Yeah, okay, I got it. Right now, that's what, now hold that, is that John and
Leo and myself.
Dad, and that's John that's little. And you-
Dad looks like he got a skirt on.
Yeah.
What, waiting,
Dad had a skirt.
yeah.
Here is our family now. After we came out here, this was in 1971. Enlarged, it had enlarged for our golden wedding.
Oh, that's not 1971. That was your golden wedding in 1971. This picture was taken in about, well, let's see. Picture had to be taken in about 1946, 47, sometime in the 40s, probably just after Bus and Kenny got out of service. Because I look like I'm about high school.
Mary was married in 57, but she wasn't married there.
No.
I don't remember whether Bobby was in or Janie. I think Teresa was married.
All right, that's at the house in Berwyn Heights, right?
Yeah.
This
That's
was
my
in the
family.
house
That's
at
our
Berwyn
family.
Heights.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was, I guess,
Loretta was married, I think, and
Yeah, well, Sis was married because she got married in 1942, didn't she, or 43?
or something like
43.
that, 42.
And then Bus didn't get married until about 46, 47.
46. Probably 46, Bus got
I
married.
think Kenneth was married. Wasn't that after you was
No, Kenny, I look like I'm about in high school there. I'd bet you that was taken in about 46, 47 when Bus got out of service.
Probably.
Probably before he was married even.
Because that's where you hit those streetcar across your face.
Yeah.
Did you get this? Yeah.
No, I didn't get a picture of that. That's,
You want that?
yeah,
That's Joe's mother and dad's wedding picture.
I got an awful lot of glare. See if you can kind of move it around a little bit.
That was Dad's wedding picture, did he? Or
Well,
Is that your mother now or your stepmother?
Mother, real mother, yes.
Okay. Open it up just a little bit more because I'm getting a glare there. Okay, I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. Okay, so that wasn't, no, he's too old there for a wedding picture.
I think
That other one you had was his wedding picture there. He looked much younger.
yes, you have his wedding picture there. What do you got now, Molly? Will you say to them, is them the ones you got already?
Yeah.
Well, let's go. Well, that's Dad's family now, right?
No, this is a picnic for all the Wiedels, for
this is
everyone.
a Wiedel.
When
I
was
picnic
that?
every year.
When was it?
Oh, gosh, let's see,
See
before
on
Teresa
there?
was born,
No, Teresa's there on the picture.
before Janie was born.
Before Janie was born. Well, Janie was born, what, 1933?
Yeah, by 1933.
So that picture must have been taken in about 1932. 32 or 33.
33. It was 33, because it was taken in July, and she was born in
I'm
October.
going to point out some of the people there.
Well, now here's Loretta.
Oh, wait a minute here. I'm going to...
Please.
No.
This is Bus.
I mean, back up to Sister. I didn't have it focused. Okay, that's with the little white hat.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is Bus.
yeah.
And this is you, Joe. This is Kenneth.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Teresa.
Sitting on a black and white pony.
Yeah, she's in the front.
Yeah. And then where's...
Did I give you Loretta?
Yeah. And then what you got, looks
And,
like...
Wait a minute now. And here's Dad right there, and that's me.
And then you got, what, this, Grandpa and Uncle Steve and Uncle Ed. It's all three of the boys.
This is Uncle Steve, and this is Uncle Ed, and this is their aunt.
So that's all three of the,
Mackenzie, and this is Joe.
so that's all three of the brothers and two of the
Two of the girls.
girls.
One of the girls.
Kate and Mary,
And
and
then Anna.
her
wasn't it?
Aunt Anna.
That's Joe's dad.
Well, about how many were there in,
Three boys and three girls.
no, I mean in the whole Wiedel group there when you got a picnic together like that?
Oh, I wouldn't know. There was, how many families?
The Mackenzie family, and how many Wiedel families, I don't know.
I wouldn't know, but I suppose in a neighborhood of 100 and some.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Anyway.
Down on the river. It's a picnic. Summer picnic.
There was some of the Luthers there, but none of the family. Just one.
This ought to be in the first.
Some of her children.
Here's
Eichinger.
Here's two little calves. The only thing that wasn't mortgaged. Dad's so glad to get the money to come out to Washington.
Wait a minute, I can't
We
get
had
the,
money, it's the only money we had. Everything you had mortgaged.
oh, here, I don't know if I can get down small enough to get that. Oh, that's not bad. They look like Holsteins.
Yeah,
Well, must have been worth something.
had to be worth something. Right here. Here's after we came out here. This is about 1958 to 59. That's our home, one of our homes.
Was that your house over in the new house that you built over in Berwyn Heights, right?
Here's our trailer.
Yeah.
Well, where'd you get that trailer? What'd you do with that?
Oh, we sold it to.
We traveled.
No, but I mean, why'd you pick up a trailer? You didn't have to, you didn't live in that, did you?
That was in 1970.
Yeah.
Dad had retired,
I'd
and we
retired.
wanted to travel. So we went all over U.S., all up in Maine, crossed over to Nova Scotia, down to New Orleans, back, and
All over the United
Colorado.
States we went.
Yeah, all over the United States. And then we finally sold it, and then we traveled by airplane. We went to Bangkok, was there for a week. Then we went to Rome.
In 65 we went to Rome.
65, we went to Rome, was there
Bob
3
was
weeks.
right over there.
And then we went to Bangkok, and then we came back from Bangkok, we went to the Holy Land. We was going on that trip for all.
You had a layover in India, and did you get around Europe any place else when you went to Rome?
We stopped.
No, we just went to Rome.
Well, when you went to the Holy Land, would you just tour the whole Holy Land, or?
Well, we went all over the Holy Land. When we went to
London, we was in
Bangkok, we stopped off in India and stayed overnight in India. Stayed 2 nights in India, didn't we? Yeah. And we went to Taj Mahal, bought some jewelry there. Not in Taj Mahal, but in India. We was there about 2 days, and we went on to Bangkok, see the Brother Bob. That's our last trip, I believe, wasn't it? Besides going to Denver back and forth, we do that several times.
Well, you've done quite a bit of traveling then since you retired.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we done most of all the traveling we did. We did
Yes,
after
myself.
70 years old, after retired. 65 we went to Rome that time.
I guess you quit traveling in about,
After I retired is when we.
about 79 you quit traveling. Was that the last time we made our trip?
I don't know.
Maybe it was 78 or 79.
Now, what's that picture?
That's me and Martha and Dad, and this is Mrs. Simmons. She was 90 years old, an old friend we had in Nebraska.
Oh, that was a visit you made back to Nebraska.
Yeah, it's busy.
And who's the baby?
That's Lexi.
Oh, that's Lexi's sister's oldest girl.
Oh my gosh, you've been able to look.
Hey, this is a picture then when you went with Aunt Elizabeth and Uncle Alvin out to the Grand Canyon with your camping trailer. And that must have been not long before Uncle Alvin died.
It wasn't. He died that spring.
Yeah. And then Elizabeth just died this past spring.
This is me at the house before we came here.
Over in Berwyn Heights, your brick house that you built, or that had built over there.
Where's that?
Well, I don't know
Where's
who
that
that
baby
baby.
lie, you know?
Okay, now this is your 50th wedding anniversary. And that was in 1971.
1971.
71, right after you retired. Yes, we are, and that's in my living room, and this is my two sisters.
You're getting a lot of glare. You have to turn it more towards the light.
Like that?
Oh, Elizabeth, she's
Okay.
gone now. Elizabeth,
So that's Aunt Elizabeth on the left and Aunt Dealey.
Delia's still alive, isn't she?
Delia, see, I never hear from Celia. I don't
But
know what
Delia's
happened.
still alive, isn't she?
Yeah.
And I guess that's going down, walking down the church aisle. There.
Yeah.
Coming down the aisle. Can you get this one?
Yeah, I got that.
This is a neat picture. George Willie's wedding. Dad is baby in his father's arms. It's darling.
There's the
Yeah,
kiss of peace.
Had a little
Uh-huh.
dress.
Dad. Golden wedding.
And that was held over at Holy Redeemer Church in Berwyn.
This is Bus. They were coming out the door of the golden, on our golden wedding. Holy Redeemer, Dad and I. How's that camera thing with you? It's burning sweet. Mrs. Marker.
Yeah, there's no.
Now, here's our first dance. God, look how you stretched
Pull
out
it
there.
out.
All spruced up there, look at your very back. But I'm taller than you. How's that come?
Got a lot of glare on that one. You have to turn it different there.
Pull us back.
Yeah, okay, that's better.
That's our dance, first dance, our golden wedding. It's at St. Mary's Church over in Chevrolet. There's Bus reading the poem. I ought to read that poem. That's the scream. Got that?
Yeah.
This is some of our friends, Dad and I and some of our friends. You hear her talk about him now. I knew there's that. She lost her husband now, and she's lost her mind with it, I guess.
Most all those older people are
Right
dead
there.
and gone.
There's a cutting of the cake. Got it?
Yes. Well, pretty good sized cake. Must have had a pretty good crowd there.
They're feeding him the first bite. See the first bite? Got it?
Yeah.
This is some of the, this is the family.
There's the whole group.
That's the
That's the whole family in 1971.
Yeah.
1970. Boy, it's a girl with me, I'll tell you. You're supposed